Hi there, it's Susan, and I want to welcome you to Kitchen Talk. Kitchen Talk, what's Kitchen Talk? Well, if you just showed up at my door, you discover that my kitchen is somewhere between messy and really organized, and usually right smack in the middle of that, because isn't that how life is? And isn't that how success is? Sometimes we're in these like messy places in our life, and sometimes we feel like on top of the world, but usually it's somewhere in between. So here I am, and I wanted to say hi. I'm having a snack. Here we go. A little bit of Greek yogurt, um, pumpkin seeds, pepitas, maple syrup because I'm Canadian, and chia seeds and raspberries. Yum yum. So don't forget to take a break. So that's what I'm nibbling on. How about you? Have you taken a break today? Hope so. I was going to come in here earlier and talk on resentment because resentment, yeah, it's one of those topics I seem to find myself avoiding. And yet it really is a place where I know for sure it shows up a lot in the kitchen where I think I hold a lot of expectations and hopes for how things can and should be. And I sleep with a mouth guard, so I'm like holding on to all the tension at night, even kind of waking up with sore jaw, anyone else. And it's one of those things that I'm just kind of really ready to be done with. Not that that ever really happens. I think it's more about recognizing kind of what's bringing this on today, what's showing up, and how do I care for myself in the midst of it. Still, I tend to avoid this in my work and writing, and I think it's time to stop. So, anyone else deal with resentment? Should I write something? And yeah. And then I wanted to just give you a little heads up because some really cool things have been happening. Over the last year, couple of years, I've been writing on the topic of success. And I'm an Enneagram 3. I'm an Enneagrammer. And we are kind of like the success junkies of the Enneagram. That's not to say that other types don't kind of like get into bed with success. Heck, in this culture, who isn't kind of married to being successful? It's a thing. And so a lot of this work is born out of my own story, my own struggle, my own kind of potholes with success, and increasingly my own desire to redefine what success is and to liberate women to find their own expressions of success. Because if you look in the dictionary, oh my goodness, it's really quite sad. The definition of success, it's quite narrow. Shocking. It has to do with money, has to do with fame, has to do with like title. It's some super narrow definition. If we say, oh, we talk about someone, we refer to them as so successful, that's kind of where our mind goes, right? Like they've got all the things going on. And yet the women that I work with and that I've been writing for and that have been kind of engaging in my work, they talk about having a measure of success on the outside of their lives. And they can look and they can see that they're successful. And yet on the inside, there's this sense of like, if I'm so successful, why don't I feel it? And then they just try to like be all grateful for all the things. Because heaven forbid that we feel like, I don't know. I mean, we all are quite awake these days to the fact that we hold a significant amount of privilege. So we don't want to be showing up in the world as ungrateful or unaware of this privilege. And we feel this emptiness, the sense of like, could it be different? Why am I not as content as I think I should be given the measure of success that I have? So it's really been interesting, and I say we because this work is really born out of the writing that I've been up to. Have come up with a manifesto for Women Redefining Success. No, it's not just for women, but I do think women have some particular perspectives that relate to success that are super useful, that we could really benefit from integrating and weaving into our culture much more actively. But anyway, this manifesto's got some ideas. I'm going to be sharing these over the next number of days and weeks in this manifesto, or you can hop over to my website. The whole thing's right there. Because my definition of success is likely very different than yours. Maybe there's some overlap. That's cool. That's not the point though. The idea is like how do we give ourselves a fuller view of what is success means. And this is really the heart and the spirit, the essence of this manifesto, which is like kind of to blow open the topic and say, hey, how else could success be? What could it really mean? Is it just something that is connected to the material wealth and experiences we have? Or is it also something that we can feel and experience on our interior selves? I say yes. Joy, ease, calm, peace, energy, vitality, all those juicy things. That's just one of the ideas. But this is really what it's all about. And another cool thing is that a number of women have said, hey, can we just like, is there a way to chat around this and come together? So there's a conversation series that's going to start next week, 8 weeks of 8 conversations. If you're interested, give me a little DM. I'll shoot you off some information. It's super raw, super beta-ish, super like, let's just see what happens. Just like if you and I were having a glass of wine or a coffee or something together in my kitchen. That's the whole spirit of it. So that's the news. Keep an eye open for it. If and when you see this come up in your feed, I'd love to hear what your take is on this. That the manifesto is really at this place where it's like, yeah, Susan's got these ideas and so do all the women she's connected. But what else? What else could this all be? So share it. Thanks for tuning in and have yourselves a fantastic Wednesday.